Hello everybody, it's Teresa here. So today I want to talk about the very basic concept about the eating disorder recovery, and especially to do with your mindset in eating disorder recovery. And this is what I see all the time, and this is so common, and I really want to address this in this video so you are aware how you are sabotaging your own recovery with your own mindset. Yeah, and this has to do with how human beings are motivated. So if you know, like I heard this concept from Anthony Robbins. If you know Anthony Robbins, like he's the most successful, I would say, like mindset coach or success coach, or I don't even know, in the world. And I really like look up to him, and I have got so many great ideas from him, and I have applied this to my life. And what he talks about a lot is how human beings are motivated. So the basic two things how human beings are motivated is either through like pain or pleasure. So what it means is that human beings either do something to avoid pain, or they do something to gain pleasure. So for example, like if I would want to recover from an eating disorder, then my motivation is because I am experiencing so much pain from my eating disorder right now in my life. Like my food is out of control, my weight is out of control, my relationships suffer, my mental health suffers, my physical health. So I want to avoid all of this pain I'm experiencing right now, and this is motivating me to start recovery. Or for example, I would focus on the pleasure of what I would get if I would decide to fully recover. I will focus on all the, I could be a normal eater, I could be intuitive eater, I could restore my physical health, my mental health, I could get rid of this food obsession that I have all the time. And this kind of the pleasure of the what's to come in the future, this is kind of motivating for me to recover and take action. But what I notice all the time, when I speak to people, is that for them this is kind of reverse. And this is why they keep on sabotaging their own recovery. This is why they keep on being stuck, because they're not even aware that they associate so much pleasure actually in their eating disorder and so much pain in recovery. So what I mean is that they associate that eating disorder helps them cope with some emotion, let's say. So it's kind of like a benefit or a pleasure. Or for example, they focus on eating disorder helps them to control their weight and helps them to like not gain weight. So this is also like some kind of benefit or pleasure they get from staying with their eating disorder. Or they would say to themselves that this is what I have known, eating disorder has become kind of part of me, or like a friend I have had through difficult times. So this is again like some kind of pleasure or some kind of benefit they get from the eating disorder. And actually what this is doing is motivating them to stay in their eating disorder. And for example, they associate so much pain in their recovery, going through recovery, choosing to go through recovery. They see their recovery as weight gain, as, I don't know, having this guilt and anxiety building up in recovery, having to go through all of this bloating and water retention, having fear about the future. So they associate all of this pain in choosing recovery, and this is why they're not motivated to even start recovery. Or anytime they experience this kind of pain of recovery, the normal recovery symptoms, they associate this as, with pain of recovery, and they don't want to experience it. So this kind of focus makes them go back to the eating disorder all the time. So I really hope you followed what I just tried to explain to you, that Like you have all of the motivation upside down right now. If you associate so much, positivity staying in your eating disorder, how it's somehow helping you to maintain your weight, how it's somehow helping you to cope with your emotions, how it's somehow keeping you safe. Like all of those positive things are keeping you in the eating disorder, like the positive things. Actually, yeah, there is nothing positive about eating disorder. And by focusing on all the negative symptoms of recovery, like thinking like, oh, like I don't want to go through the weight gain process, like seeing the recovery as something scary, seeing it like all the anxiety, guilt coming up, like all of the things what anybody has to go through if they ever want to change their life. That is actually a positive thing. But you kind of convince yourself to not even try recovery. So what I mean is that you have to reverse this kind of process. And just like I did in my recovery, I associated so much pain staying in my eating disorder. Like I saw the eating disorder as the most terrible, relationship I could ever have in my life. And I saw all the pain I will continue to experience with all the, binging and obsessing around food, and my body being out of control, my metabolism, my hunger cues being out of control, how it was destroying my life, how it was destroying my relationship, my goals, my future. Like all this pain I associated with the eating disorder. So actually associating all of this pain to my eating disorder, it helped me so much to keep on going in recovery. And in recovery, I didn't, focus on the weight gain or water retention or the recovery symptoms that can be very scary. Yes, instead, what I focused on was to like the pleasure I will experience when I go through recovery. Like, as I said before, I could be a normal eater, I could be an intuitive eater. Oh my God, I could eat normally. I would stop binge eating. I would stop being obsessed with food. I will have like a healthy body with a healthy functioning hunger cues and metabolism and hormones and everything. So I associated so much pleasure to choosing the eating or the recovery, in the bigger picture, in the long-term outcome. All the pleasure I will experience by continuing with recovery and choosing to stay on track in recovery. So, and this is the basic kind of idea how to motivate yourself to recover, and how so many people are not aware that they are demotivating themselves from recovery, and they are actually convincing themselves to stay in the eating disorder. And this is the form of self-sabotage many people are not aware of. So I just want to bring this to your awareness so you can switch it around for yourself. And what I recommend is really like write down your list, 2 lists. One list, write down what is the pain I'm gonna continue to experience if I stay in my eating disorder. And the other list, write down what is the pleasure I'm gonna experience if I choose full recovery, if I choose to go through recovery. And write down your lists. And whenever you have doubts about recovery or the fear coming up, or the eating disorder telling you like go back, then you can look over your lists and you can stay motivated in your recovery. So I really hope it makes sense to you, and so thank you so much for watching, and I guess I will see you in my next video. Bye.